against a police state, against racist intersectionality, against political correctness, against mob rule, against the racist socialist left, against the victimhood liars. The idiots have been in charge way too long. And that's why you're here. For the podcast you need. All for liberty all the time. Welcome to Liberty Bites Back. With your host, Brandon Emo.
What is one way to get technology to work around masks? That may have been a question. Test the product on the public and force masks on them. Did that happen? Well, your masked face is helping them right now for sure. Reason reports, facial recognition programs are getting better at recognizing masked faces. Pandemic wear face masks may not be quite as effective barrier to surveillance as we hoped. While fabric face coverings certainly pose challenges to facial recognition technology, U.S. government researchers say that improving software specifically intended to account for obscured features has reduced the error rate and made it easier to identify people whose faces are partially concealed. So you'll need to add sunglasses and a hat to your privacy-enhancing ensemble to confidently thwart the best efforts of the snoops. But a new study on the facial recognition technology created after the onset of the COVID-19 pandemic shows that some software developers have made demonstrably a lot of progress at recognizing masked faces. The U.S. National Institute of Standards and Technology, NIST, announced this week. The new report follows up on earlier research into pre-pandemic technology that found face masks to be effective at thwarting facial recognition efforts. How well do facial recognition algorithms identify people wearing masks? NIST asked back in July. The answer, according to the preliminary study by NIST, is a great difficulty. Since the earlier investigation, though, a new generation of facial recognition software had become available. The new technology is designed to be implemented in a world in which people's lower faces are routinely covered by fabric masks, obscuring many of the features that the software would traditionally compare against stored images in order to identify subjects. The new systems are able to recognize masked people by getting enough key points from just their eyes and nose. The South China Morning Post reported earlier this year. They appear to do so pretty effectively too. Some newer algorithms from developers performed significantly better than their predecessors. In some cases, error rates decreased by as much of a factor of 10 between the pre- and post-COVID algorithms, according to Meiningen, one of the authors of the latest NIST study. In the best cases, software algorithms are making errors between 2.4 and 5% of the time with the masked faces, comparable to where the technology was in 2017 on non-masked photos. As with the earlier study, NIST researchers applied digitally generated face masks over photographs in order to assess the new technology. They performed one-to-one matching, in which images are compared to stored photos of the same people, as is done at checkpoints or to unlock smartphones. A test of the far more challenging one-to-many matching of the sort conducted when surveillance images of crowds are compared against large databases is planned for the future. While researchers found that facial recognition technology is improving in its ability to identify people through face masks, it still has its limitations. When both the new image and the stored image are the masked faces, error rates run higher, they noted, with a couple of notable exemptions. When the face was occluded in both photos, false matches ran 10 to 100 times higher than the original saved image showed in the uncovered face. That's probably because fewer clear facial features yield fewer points of comparison. They also discovered that for uncertain reasons the color of masks matters. Red and black masks tended to yield higher error rates than the other colors did. Unsurprisingly, larger masks that obscure more facial features result in higher error rates than the smaller masks that only cover the nose and mouth. Continuing a trend from the July 2020 report, round mask shapes which cover only the mouth and nose generate fewer errors than wide ones that stretch across the cheeks, and those covering the nose generated more errors than those that did not. That makes sense for technology that is designed to accommodate masks by comparing details of the upper face. Prescription type clear lens glasses will generate not to be a problem for facial detection and recognition software. The key eye details are still visible. Hulk Alestra, the CTO of the U.S. facial recognition company Kairos, pointed out in 2015. The best algorithms in the world still have difficulties. However, when people are wearing a dark or shiny sunglasses that effectively hides the pupils of the eyes, this problem is particularly compounded when the glasses obscure and hide the distance between the eyes, which is a key part of many algorithms. Technology has advanced since then, but cameras still have to be able to see the least part of the face in order to match it against a stored image. In China, where surveillance technology is eagerly deployed by the government, Hanwan Technology Ltd. moved early to tweak its software to accommodate the faces masked against the COVID-19. But the system struggles to identify people with both masks and sunglasses, Reuters reported in March this year. Throw a hat in with your sunglasses and a mask and you have a combination that leaves even the best facial recognition algorithms relatively little data which to go off of. Even more effective means are available for frustrating the snoops, but projectors that superimpose images of other people's faces over your own, and makeup that distorts identifiable features are for the very privacy-minded and unlikely to see widespread adoption. But more practical are reflectical glasses that enhance the already privacy-protected qualities of shades with features that dazzle surveillance cameras. The latest versions are rather stylish and don't make wearers look like Elton John. Despite advancing technology, face masks continue to be some anti-surveillance properties beyond their health applications, which I don't see much of. But for the best results, they need to be complemented by hats and sunglasses that give facial recognition software little with which to work. Now, with all of this said, could this be the deep state's real plan in making for the masks? If so, it's terrible, and I'm worried it's not just this either, to be honest. This is just one part of the plan, for sure. Who wins? Who's always won? The culture clash. The culture war is real. I have talked about it. I even have a playlist explaining the culture war and how racists have infiltrated the ideology of social justice. I also have a documentary for educational purposes, The Culture War. Be woke about the woke.